So to finish off the part 2 learn along, we're going to learn how to do the Italian cast off, which is going to match this lovely flexible Italian cast on that we did at the beginning. Now the Italian cast off is actually Kitchener stitch. So if you've done that before, you will understand what's going on. But with Kitchener stitch, you are usually grafting 2 sets of stitches together. With Italian bind off or Italian cast off, you're working those same movements, but with all your stitches on one needle. So let's get going. First of all, I am going to cut off my dark colour. Just leave a tail for weaving in. And I'm going to take my cream colour and leave at least 3 times the length of the row for my Italian bind off. And then cut that one. And now what I need to do is thread that cream colour yarn onto a tapestry needle. Now I've got one here that I like to use that's got a bent tip, and you're going to see in a minute why I think that's useful. But any tapestry needle would do really. So as in Kitchener stitch, with the Italian cast off or Italian bind off, there are a couple of setup steps to do before we go into a series of repeated steps. Now the setup steps are like this. So the first setup step is insert your tapestry needle purlwise through the first stitch and pull through. Take that yarn to the back. Insert your needle between those 2 stitches from back to front. And then insert your needle, your tapestry needle knitwise into that second stitch. That's the setup done. We'll just leave that there for now. We'll finish with that later. Now we're going to start our repetition of 4 steps. Now I'm going to do them each individually. After a while we will learn that you can do the first 2 together and the second 2 together, but let's start off separately so that we can follow quite carefully. So the first step is to insert your tapestry needle through that first stitch knitwise and take that stitch off of the needle. Don't pull the yarn too tight. That's step 1. Step 2 is to take your tapestry needle through the second stitch on that needle. And remember, the stitch and its shawl are counted as one. So we're going to insert purlwise through that second stitch. There we go. So the tension should be about like that. So that was step 2. Step 3, take your tapestry needle purlwise through the first stitch and take that stitch off. And the 4th step is to take your tapestry needle, just like we did before for the setup, between those first 2 stitches to the front and then knitwise through that second stitch and out the back. I'll just do all of those 4 stitches again slowly, and then we'll start to combine them. So tapestry needle through the first stitch knitwise and off. Take that stitch off. Okay, so that was step 1. Step 2, tapestry needle through the second stitch on the needle purlwise, then the stitch and its shawl, and leave that stitch on. Step 3, the tapestry needle through the first stitch purlwise and take that stitch off. And the last step, tapestry needle between those 2 stitches from back to front and then knitwise into the second one. Okay, leaving a reasonably loose-ish tension, not too loose, not too tight. Now we're going to start to combine some of these steps. So the first step, tapestry needle through the first stitch knitwise and off, and then through the second stitch purlwise, leaving the stitch on, can be combined like that. And then the third and fourth steps, tapestry needle through the first stitch purlwise and off, and then between the first two stitches from the back, turn, and using that curved bit of the tapestry needle, go through that second stitch knitwise and out to the back. All of that can be done in one go. Don't worry, these stitches look a little bit wonky. We sort that out at the end. Let's do those repeats again. So combining step 1 and 2, through the first stitch knitwise and take the stitch off, through the second stitch purlwise and leave that stitch on. Steps 3 and 4, tapestry needle for the through the first stitch purlwise and take that off, tapestry needle between the next two stitches, turn and go through knitwise in that second stitch. Now I'm going to keep going until we get to 2 stitches at the end. Knitwise through the first stitch and off, purlwise through that second stitch and on, purlwise through the first stitch and off, knitwise through the second stitch from the back and on. So the on and the off is whether you're going to be taking that stitch off the needle or not. That's how I remember it. So the mantra is knit off, purl off, knit on. So knit off, second stitch, purl on, purl off from the back, knit on. Knit off, purl on, purl off, knit on. Knit off, purl on, purl off, knit on. Knit off, purl on, purl off, knit on. Getting quite close to the end now. Let's do the first 2 steps again. Knit off, purl on, and now we've got 2 stitches left. So we only did those 2 steps on those last 2 stitches. Now the very last thing to do here is to just go purlwise and off into the first stitch, and knitwise and off into this last stitch, and then we can fasten all that off in a minute. It is like a tubular cast off, but if you look at it, you will see that all these top stitches look a bit skew-iff, I'd call them, but you can easily fix that. Just take your tapestry needle and even out those first top stitches. It just happens as you're casting off. It goes like that. Pull that right leg slightly to even them up. First one's usually okay. And there you have it. So the Italian cast off is seamless because it's going from a knit column round and into a purl column on the back. If we turn it over, we see our dark columns going up nice and neatly right to the end there. Okay, so that is the Italian cast off. If you'd like to use it, it's nice and stretchy. And as I say, it matches the Italian cast on.